The third day along the Fen Rivers Way begins in the city of Ely. A 1 mile detour has been added to take in the many highlights of this historic place before rejoining the way by the quay. It's here that the route follows the Great Ouse north along marshland and past a train depot at Queen Adelaide. After crossing to the western bank at the B1382, the route follows a straight path north-northwest all the way to the village of Littleport and the end of this short day's walk. It's a glorious morning once again here along the Fen Rivers Way, and I'm starting the third day at the historic city of Ely. I'm going to head off route to follow a 1 mile detour into the city centre to explore its rich history and spectacular cathedral. The first historic feature along the route into the city centre are the earthworks of Ely's Norman castle. The Motte and Bailey castle dates back to 1070 and built by William the Conqueror to maintain control of what was once an island surrounded by wet marshland. As you pass the castle hill, just on the left there is a Grade 1 listed barn and storehouse of the ancient monastery dating back to 1575. Sitting next to this is the spectacular Ely Porter, a beautiful Grade 1 listed entrance to the monastery dating back to 1397. The gate is flanked by 4 square, castellated corner turrets dressed in stone. After passing under the gate and turning right, the route heads along the monastic precinct with breathtaking views up to this spectacular Holy Trinity Cathedral, of which construction was started in 1083. Opposite the cathedral is the Bishop's Palace. Dating to the 15th century and given a Grade 1 listing, the palace was once the residence of the Bishops of Ely up until 1941. As you make your way down the busy high street, there are several opportunities to restock the lunchbox and pick up a snack or a meal. But it's time for me to head back to the riverbank path and continue my journey north. The path along here is exceptionally easy to follow, with a hard track constructed through the park marking the way ahead. Being so close to the city centre makes this section one of the busiest along the whole route, with dog walkers and tourists walking along the Great Ouse riverbank path. Areas around here are designated local nature reserves, with numerous rare birds and insects to be seen, including kingfishers, and you may even see a snipe in the marshes. There's a brief moment of noise as you pass a factory before leading you back into the peaceful lakes and rivers nestled amongst dense reed beds and woodland. The way crosses the Great Ouse via a rather ugly metal footbridge and continues north along the roadside for roughly 3/4 of a mile. Eventually arriving at the road bridge, and after crossing to the western bank once more, the route finally keeps away from the busy traffic along the road. It's at Queen Adelaide that the way joins the riverbank footpath north in almost a dead straight line, with road, river, railway and footpath all running in parallel with the same goal in sight, the large village of Littleport. Although a long straight path may sound boring, being so close to the river means that wildlife spotting takes priority, with the likelihood of seeing great crested grebes, mute swans, grey herons, and even a range of ducks including goldeneye. It's a blissfully warm February day as I stride out along the beautiful riverbank path. The railway alongside doesn't seem to interfere with the tranquility of the riverbank walking, with trains only running every hour. The disturbance is only seconds before peace is restored. With just over 2 miles left of riverbank walking, there's a notable feature up ahead. A flyover bridge marks the location the River Lark merges with the Great Ouse. The river originates 31 kilometres away at the small village of Wepstead and Bradfield Combust and passes through Bury St Edmunds and the rugged Breckland landscape. As you approach Littleport via Sand Hill, there's an opportunity to grab something to eat or drink at the Swan by the river before the path continues along the Great Ouse. An additional half a mile will bring you out at the road next to Littleport train station and the end of this short but interesting day's walking.